There's nothing more like a movie that shows off an actor's dramatic traits, isn't there? Especially of a vampire who doesn't give a fuck about the girl he loves. The drama keeps building up, doesn't it? So Robert Patterson plays a guy who's still at a loss with his brother, who committed suicide, and a father who acts like he doesn't give a shit. He has a sister who he really cares for and who is into the arts, but she's being teased at school because apparently she's too weird. He goes to the same cafe every morning and writes in his little journal to his brother. Why that specific cafe? Because he and his brother used to go there every morning. And that was the last place Patterson saw his brother. He has a roommate that acts like Jack Black, except he has no musical qualities and he's not funny. Which contradicts what Patterson's character is like. Brooding and moody. No, this is supposed to be taken seriously. In this movie, he actually does give a shit! A little bit. So after a night at the bar, he tries to stop a fight between two groups of people, and after a misunderstanding, he gets arrested by a police officer, but is later bailed out by another family member. Then his Jack Black friend sees the police officer who arrested Patterson, and sees that his daughter goes to the same school as he does. So instead of leaving the situation alone, his dumbass mind decides to drag his roommate into this, telling him to introduce himself to her because he's brooding. At first the girl's kinda skeptical, but she gives in to him. So she eventually tells him that her mother was killed after being shot by gangsters. And as a little girl, she witnessed the whole thing. Which begs either the question, how the hell does nobody see this murder happening? The gangsters shot her from the subway car! Or, why didn't anybody get arrested for this crime? But the people who wrote this movie turned into monkeys for a moment. He introduces her to his family as she gets into a fight with her father, after getting drunk and staying all night at Patterson's house without even calling. After a few scenes, he finally introduces her to his father. But obviously father and son tensions arise. His father doesn't even show up at his own daughter's art exhibit. For former 007, he sure is a dick. Patterson actually goes to his father's workplace and confronts him, angrily afraid of the people who his father is working with. So after that, he and his girlfriend have angry sex. Don't act like you never had. Father finds out where she's going and finds Patterson living there. Patterson explains that he doesn't know him very well and he's just doing this over a bet. I don't think this was explained very well. When was this a bet? All that happened was that the Jack Black guy told Patterson to check out the officer's daughter, not really explaining much. Then his girlfriend comes along and he tells her not only did her father come in and beat the shit out of him, but knows who her father was and always did know. This pisses her off and she goes back home. So there are these cliched scenes that you've seen from other romantic movies. You know, the ones where the person is depressed because they broke up with someone who was truly special. So the friend tells the girl that Patterson has never looked at another girl like the way he looked at her. Then after a few moments, they both get back together and everything seems fine. Well, I won't give away the ending as I usually do, but I will say two things. This movie takes place during the summer of 2001, and I'll just say, way to force the scenario into the last 5 minutes of the movie, you fucking assholes! So that's Remember Me. I've completely forgotten it. It's a forgettable movie. The acting's melodramatic, the premise is partly ripped off, and the premise that doesn't seem entirely ripped off is either not focused or not entertaining. Robert Patterson, God bless you, I know you're trying to do some James Dean look, but it fails. I'm sorry, but you could need a little bit more work! Along with the rest of this movie too.